we are secondhand creators of the ultimate creation. That's why this quote is so great. You want to make an apple pie from scratch? You must first invent the universe. There is no scratch. Don't you get it?
That's the
There is no
scratch.
scratch.
Yeah. Right.
What do you think?
I agree with you. You know, I once heard someone say, I once heard someone be corrected. They're saying, I'm going to go make some orange juice. It's like, no, you don't make orange juice. Orange juice has already been made. You just squeeze the orange juice, right? And I thought about that and said, yeah, that's true. But, being here in Rishikesh, it's a place where for so many centuries, yogis have come and they live very simply. They live in caves sometimes, right? They live or in these simple ashrams or little huts. They
Right.
wander. You know, I've been going to some special places the past couple of days. Just
Oh,
on the
yeah? You got
bank
some
of the
secret
river here, not
spots?
far away. Some secret spots, and and walking this path through really like jungle, like a jungle area. And you know that this path has been walked on for centuries, by so many yogis. And they're part of the reason why they kind of isolated themselves this way or separated themselves from, the more active materialistic society was because they wanted to be by the river.
Mm.
They wanted to be in the jungle, in the forest. They wanted to set themselves up in an environment where their mind would slow down a little bit, and rather than take all these things for granted, they'd be very aware that drink the water and think this water is a gift, right? Coming down from the mountain. These mountains are gifts. All the minerals in the earth. When I eat a chapati, I think about how that wheat grew out of there was a seed, and the seed grew, and it created these wheat berries, and those wheat berries were then ground, and then someone took that ground wheat and shaped it into a chapati and cooked it on a fire. Where do we get the fire? We don't create that either. Where's that come? Is ultimately in one form or another, it's coming from the sun.
Sure.
So I'm with the river, I'm with the sun, I'm with the earth, and I'm thinking about these things, and I'm also thinking about that the one who's behind that all is also inside my heart. And my yoga practices are to discover. I'm determined to connect with that soul of the universe within my own heart. These yogis were cultivating that, making this effort. It's actually it's beautiful just to even taste it just a little bit yourself, just like even just a little bit. It's very satisfying, and nowadays we would say something like it's a game changer, just to slow down and think about that. So I thought this was interesting from Carl Sagan. He's not approaching it necessarily from like a yogic point of view, but from his scientific understanding. I see him as a bit more of than just a scientist. He's a thinker. He's a bit of a philosopher too, and a thinker like that. And so, yeah, it's an interesting way that he puts it, is that if you're going to make something from scratch, you got to keep going back. You got to keep going back and keep going back.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, it's his Wisdom of the Sages, a Bhakti Yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York City, Kaustubha Das. Welcome to the show. It's Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. It's episode 1701. Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, beautiful Kaustubha. How are you today?
Very good.
Oh, good. Kaustubha is live in Rishikesh, and I'm here with Pranapriya Devi Dasi, a.k.a. Miss Mara. And we are getting ready. We have a couple announcements here. Now, the first one is, guess what, Kaustubha? My 21-day...
You launched it.
Huh? My
You
21-day...
launched your thing, right?
lost my thing. What are you talking about? Launched my thing. No, I didn't. I didn't launch it. I launched my What's Up channel to get anything that I put out. So if you haven't signed up for my What's Up channel, go to Raghunath Capo on WhatsApp. And the first thing I'm going to put out is this Nectar of Instruction or Upadeshamrita course. It's a 21-day course. I'm trying to get it done so we can do it to finish up 2021, and I'm trying to keep it down to 20-minute classes a day. And it's sort of, Nectar of Instruction is a great way. It starts from the very beginning of, it's not even bhakti, it's really just about controlling your senses and controlling your mind, and then takes you to the very highest thing. So it's a great book, and it's great to go through that with a group. And looking forward to that. And also, you and I are going to announce Mayapur, which we did. We've been doing it for the last couple of years, but we thought, we're not going to do it this year. We had a change of heart yesterday, and we said, you know what? Let's go to Mayapur right after the wisdom training, or right after the teacher training, right after the kirtan school. So we wind up all our trainings at the Govardhan Eco Village on the 23rd of January. Then the 24th is the Flower Festival. The 25th is Sunday. People have a day off to chill. And then Monday, we all fly to Calcutta and head to Mayapur together. And we're going to be in Mayapur for a week. You know what I really want to do this year, Kaustubha? I want to go through the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is this biography of Lord Chaitanya. And it's the one Prabhupada didn't translate. But there's some good translations out there. And just read with everybody every day in holy places. And visit a lot of the holy places while we're there. And just, I'd call it a level 2 pilgrimage, because sometimes people go to India and they're sort of like not quite sure, but they like yoga and they like Sanatan Dharma, but they're not quite sure if they're a Kṛṣṇa Bhakta. If you are an opted-in Kṛṣṇa Bhakta, this place is for you. If you're opted in, I love Kirtan, I love Lord Chaitanya, I love Kṛṣṇa, I'm interested in this, I want to go. That would be sort of the benchmark, I'd say, to opt in for this pilgrimage. So,
so is someone diligently working to get it up online, the registration?
Yeah, it's going to be on. Right now, you can go to raghu.pilgrimage@gmail.com. raghu.pilgrimage@gmail.com to hold your space, and there's also limited spaces for it too, because we're getting into festival
But can they get
season.
the information on the?
You can't get the information right now. You can't get the information.
Okay.
Basically, we're going to be in Mayapur.
We don't know the dates. We don't know.
We don't know the dates.
Okay.
I know I'm going to be there. I know you're going to be there. I'm not going. Pranapriya is going to be there. But Tara's organizing the whole thing, so we're going to get that up ASAP. If you're interested, write to Tara.
So save the dates. Right now, it's kind of a save the dates kind of thing.
It's a save the date thing, and we've done them the last couple of years, and they're really wonderful.
3 years.
And Mayapur is just like it's like a Hare Krishna Disneyland, where it's just like a huge, massive, beautiful campus, gorgeous deities, holy places, the Ganges River, and just great association, great prasad.
And a indescribable spiritual quality to it. It's the spiritual world descended into the material realm. There's nothing like it.
It really is. It really is. And it's like sometimes
from Vrindavan.
Sometimes people, while they're already in India anyway, they're like, well, why not just add another week? And instead of going a whole nother trip, and you come with your teachers to Mayapur. So it makes sense if you're doing the wisdom training. There's a lot of people have been asking, like, what do I do after that? I want to go somewhere. Great place to go. It's a no-brainer. All right. Hello. You ready to dive in, sir?
Pranapriya have any more announcements, or is that everything?
I think Raghu just stole my announcements.
Oh, sorry.
No, he stole your announcement.
No worries.
Okay. All right, then we got a nugget.
Today's nugget comes from Carl Sagan.
Carl
Do you remember Carl Sagan, Raghu?
He was did Carl Sagan do American Express commercials or something?
You're
I got the
thinking
wrong guy.
of? Are you thinking of the guy from? What was the guy The guy that was on like the streets of San Francisco or something like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Carl Malden or something. What do you think? Carl Sagan and Carl Malden. They're two very different people. We're gonna-
Was he all right? Was he Twilight
Carl-
Zone? Carl Sagan?
No, there was no Twilight Zone Carl Sagan, but you're getting closer, maybe, sort of.
Okay.
Carl Sagan did that show like Cosmos. He was like
Oh,
a
yeah.
scientist. He do these,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I think he wrote a famous book called Cosmos. I think that's what it was called, and he did a documentary or something or a television show. And I think this is from that. This actual quote is from that.
Okay, great.
He says, if you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe.
Oh.
If you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first
Scratch.
invent the universe.
Can I share some shelter
Sometimes
lyrics
you
with you
think
while we're here?
Well, before you do, I definitely want to hear those. I was thinking, Mara, sometimes I bet you're in that kitchen thinking you're whipping up something from scratch.
But I'm really not.
Yeah?
No, she's not at all.
Yeah.
She's
You
just a
really think you had to
manipulator of
invent the
the
universe
she,
first.
she is a manipulator of the material elements.
Indeed,
Second
I am.
hand. That's where you're going with this.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Ready?
Secondhand
This is from
speech.
Sharanagati.
Good
It's
one.
a shelter lyric from 1991. Ready?
Okay.
People in this world actually claim they possess.
Yeah. Is it? Hold it. Just 1 second. Is this where? Is the music going like?
Yes, yes, yes,
Is
yes,
that
yes,
that one?
yes. Thank you. You can do it in the background. I could just sort of like
Yes, I know that.
slam over it.
I was thinking of it, but I think I'm. Just, I was thinking
All
of
right.
it, but I think I'll just let you go.
People in this world actually claim they possess land and sky and water, but they try to forget that everything that they build and everything that they kill was handed to them by your free will. Secondhand gods, that's all we are. Not creating, manipulating, and leaving the scars. Robbing from the earth, stealing from the trees, not out of need, but greed and false prestige. But it's all yours. What can we own? Not family, property. It's all on loan. But our miserly minds of I, me, and mine fight in wars for what's not ours. So here's my plea for Sharanagati.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Bravo.
Excellent.
Isn't it interesting? We're actually
Wonderful,
fighting
yeah.
in wars for land that's not our land. It's nothing is ours. Everything's on loan. Everything is stolen land. We've all got blood on our hands if we're playing this game. It's like honor amongst thieves, and we're claiming it's ours. Then we claim we're creators of things. We are secondhand creators of the ultimate creation. That's why this quote is so great. You want to make an apple pie from scratch? You must first invent the universe. There is no scratch. Don't you get it?
That's the
There is
scratch.
no scratch.
Yeah. Right.
What do you think?
I agree with you. You know, I once heard someone say, I once heard someone be corrected. They're saying, I'm going to go make some orange juice. It's like, no, you don't make orange juice. Orange juice has already been made. You just squeeze the orange juice, right? And
Yeah.
I thought about that and said, yeah, that's true. But, being here in Rishikesh, it's a place where for so many centuries, yogis have come and they live very simply. They live in caves sometimes, right? They live or in these simple ashrams or little huts. They
Right.
wander. I've been going to some special places the past couple of days. Just
Oh,
on
yeah?
the
You
bank
got some
of the
secret
river here, not
spots?
far away. Some secret spots, and walking this path through really like jungle, like a jungle area. And that this path has been walked on for centuries, by so many yogis. And they're part of the reason why they kind of isolated themselves this way or separated themselves from, the more active materialistic society was because they wanted to be by the river.
Mm.
They wanted to be in the jungle, in the forest. They wanted to set themselves up in an environment where their mind would slow down a little bit, And rather than take all these things for granted, they'd be very aware that, drink the water and think this water is a gift, right? Coming down from the mountain, These
Mm.
mountains are gifts. All the minerals in the earth. When I eat a chapati, I think about how that wheat grew out of there was a seed, and the seed grew, and it created these wheat berries, and those wheat berries were then ground, and then someone took that ground wheat and shaped it into a chapati and cooked it on a fire. Where do we get the fire? We don't create that either. Where's that come? Is ultimately in one form or another, it's coming from the sun.
Sure.
So I'm with the river, I'm with the sun, I'm with the earth, and I'm thinking about these things, and I'm also thinking about that the one who's behind that all is also inside my heart. And my yoga practices are to discover. I'm determined to connect with that soul of the universe within my own heart. These yogis were cultivating that, making this effort. It's actually it's beautiful just to even taste it just a little bit yourself, just like even just a little bit. It's very satisfying, and nowadays we would say something like it's a game changer, just to slow down and think about that. So I thought this was interesting from Carl Sagan. He's not approaching it necessarily from like a yogic point of view, but from his scientific understanding. I see him as a bit more of than just a scientist. He's a thinker. He's a bit of a philosopher too, and a thinker like that. And so, yeah, it's an interesting way that he puts it, is that if you're going to make something from scratch, you got to keep going back. You got to keep going back and keep going back.
Mm.
And the pie was we just I was thinking, when we create something like a pie, and maybe we need to bring Mara or Pranapriya in on this, but
Pie?
there's an element of creating a pie that's like there's a satisfaction in being the creator and then looking at your creation when you're done. Is there not, Mara
Yeah, there
or
is.
Pranapriya? Right. I think a lot of that it's one of like there's something about putting the ingredients together and then putting it in the oven and then watching it come out and being like, look what I created. A loaf of bread, you feel like that. You create a loaf of bread. There is some satisfaction in creation, and there's also pride that comes with creation. And so these yogis were trying to rid themselves of all pride, of all ego. And part of that was going back, which Carl Sagan's doing. What caused this? Well, what caused that? Well, what caused that? And can you get all the way back to the cause of all causes? And then when you get there, then you're discovering, what it soul of the universe, that was God within, and that soul of the universe is within my own heart. And you're living a lifestyle to try to uncover that. There's something about that that's really, really sweet and beautiful, and it's wonderful to be in a place like this where there's just a whole tradition of sages doing this. So many of them in so many different ways.
Love it. Matter
I'm
of fact,
reminded of, yeah.
oh, we have a little.
This is
delay.
another text that. Sorry about that. This is another text that maybe you could do a study on, the Ishopanishad. That isavashyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjitaha ma gridha kasya svidhanam. Everything, animate or inanimate, that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore, and this is where the yogis, their simple living is helping them see this, right? One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota. And one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. If I think I'm the creator, then I think I own this and this is mine.
Mm.
But if I'm like, I'm not the creator of anything, I can't make, everything's being provided for me, then I should only take as much as I need and be satisfied with that. It's that kind of simplicity I think we all need in our life to some degree or another.
Yeah, when you move to cities, sometimes you can forget God is at the center. We start looking at man's creation, what man has built, and man's strength and man's endurance through the hardships, and then it becomes you forget the magic that's happening in the world. I think After Martine sent me this video yesterday about these put that link on the board. It's a great 15-minute video with this Indian couple that retired by moving back to India, and they reforested this land and raised 1 million cows, and just the connection I think that's going to be I think that's going to be our retirement plan. Reforesting and taking care of the earth and taking care of cows.
Pranavi is like, we haven't talked about this. I didn't know we were going to be reforesting in India.
Reforesting deserts. But there's some magic. There's magic in there when you're with the earth and you're just seeing yourself as a tiny steward of God's land instead of me as the center.
Yeah.
And mankind as the center, and look at everything that man has created. And you see the magic that happens in the natural cycles. Yes, Joey is saying we got to rewild ourselves. We do have to rewild ourselves. We become domesticated dogs, right? We need to become wolves, Mara. Pranapriya.
No.
Do we?
Do we? Yeah, you
do we? And so therefore we're going to be living with the wolves.
Yeah.
I was all right when it was just the cows, but I don't know about the wolves.
Yeah. Wolves are people too. Okay. Let's get into this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Kaustubha.
Let's do it.
Enough of your lollygagging.
All right.
Nārayaṇam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiraya. Before we start in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Nārayaṇa. Unto Nārayaṇ Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in class in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Agyana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Midatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, Text 9.
Who's speaking?
Lord Brahma
That's
is
right.
glorifying Kṛṣṇa.
Topmost mind of the universe, in a state of complete humility, begins to inform us what's really going on.
I wonder if he has 4 minds because he has 4 heads.
Well, the mind is not necessarily situated in the head.
Interesting.
But you would think he would have 4 brains.
Is the mind in the brain?
No, no.
It's like a cloud or something?
Yes, more like the iCloud.
Maybe got like hovers above all the heads. And because we only have 1 head, we think, well, it's because we have 1 head. Maybe 4 heads have 1 mind.
That's what I mean.
That makes sense. That could be. We don't know, and that's okay.
All right.
Text 9. My Lord, just see my uncivilized impudence. To test your power, I tried to extend my illusory potency to cover you, the unlimited primeval soul, super soul, who bewilder even the masters of illusion. What am I compared to you? I am just like a small spark in the presence of a great fire. Therefore,
it sounds like the kind of realization that you had before composing those lyrics that you just did. Who am I?
Yeah. When we go to the ocean or go to the mountains or, stand before a beautiful canyon or a river. That's why Rishikesh is so special too. You're just witnessing the mountains and the river, and it's just so much more powerful than we are. You get humbled. Therefore, O infallible Lord, kindly excuse my offenses. I have taken birth in the mode of passion, and I am therefore simply foolish, presuming myself a controller independent of your lordship. My eyes are blinded by the darkness of ignorance, which caused me to think of myself as the unborn creator of the universe. But please consider that I am your servant and therefore worthy of your compassion. Kaustubha, you still with us? You're sitting still. You're either in samadhi or you're frozen. He's frozen. Okay, he's gone. Again, whenever we get a position in the material world, it's very easy to think like, oh yeah, look at my great position. These silly people working underneath me, right? And we think, due to my hard work, due to my great intelligence, due to my cleverness, I have this position. But these simple fools underneath me, if I could only enlighten them, then they would get to my position. So whenever we get position, the ego, it follows us like a tail follows a monkey or a tail follows a cat. And we lose context of what's going on. That's why the devotee, whatever is happening to us, we have to remind ourselves, because we're all prone to illusion. We're not above illusion. Even if you say, well, I practice bhakti, I wake up, I have my morning meditation, I chant in the morning. Doesn't matter. Lord Brahma has a better sadhana than you do, and he's falling into illusion, just to set up this example for us. And as Lord Brahma falls into illusion, we can fall into illusion in a moment. And oftentimes, whenever we get some accolades, some position, some wealth, some validation publicly, especially publicly, we have to always catch ourselves and say, you know what? By the mercy of the Lord, by the mercy of my teachers, by the mercy of my situation, I'm made up of the mercy of others. Otherwise, we're setting ourselves up for illusion. And so the devotees weave that humility into their life and into their lifestyle and into their thought process. Or in a moment, right? There's the famous story. Kaustubha's not here, so I'll tell the story. There's the famous story of the mouse, and he's approaching the guru because a cat's chasing him, and the guru's saying, okay, I'll help you. And the guru makes him magically turn into a cat, a big cat. And so when the cat comes to chase him out, now he sees this bigger cat and he runs away. And then all of a sudden a dog starts chasing that cat who was once a mouse. And immediately he goes to the guru, please help me. You're so kind. You're so tolerant. You're so loving. You're so giving. And he makes him a snow leopard. And so when the dog comes to chase that other cat, a snow leopard appears and the dog starts to run. And then eventually this keeps going on until he makes that mouse a Bengal tiger. And instead of the Bengal tiger being grateful and saying, by the mercy of my teacher, I have what I have, he turns on his teacher and he thinks, now I'm going to eat the teacher. I'm going to consume the teacher. The very person that gave me all this stuff, I'm going to consume him. And the teacher's like, I can't believe what's happened to you. He says, who do you think you are telling me? How dare you even question me? And he lunges at the teacher with his claws out and his fangs out. And the teacher very quickly, while he's in the air, says, again, become a mouse. And it shows that when we take all the gifts that we have received and we use them for the ego against God, because isn't that what the ego is? The ego is, I'm the center, not God is the center. And that's why Kṛṣṇa says in the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 7, the first verse, he says, I'm going to tell you this stuff because you're not envious. Envy means I want what you have. So if I'm non-envious, if I'm envious of God, that means I don't want him in the position of the center. I want to be the center. And we all have to get to that position of no envy in the heart for God, so truth can trickle down to us. Otherwise, in that position where I am the center, I am the knower, where I don't appreciate what I've got, we become like a mouse again. We become pathetic. We become lonesome. We become empty. And so Kṛṣṇa will empower us to the degree that we have that genuine humility, which is, I find my significance from serving the center, not from being the center. That's not our position. Kaustubha, are you with us, brother?
I'm back.
Hey, how are you, beautiful?
I'm doing all right. A little disappointed in the internet.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we should get the Starlink mobile thing that you just bring with you.
We've got to do something like that. Yeah, we travel.
You know what I mean?
too much
Because
there,
you and I
yeah.
travel a lot. We're in weird places.
Starlink mobile thing. Let's look into
Starlink.
that.
It's like some satellite just follows us around, some drone.
Okay. Did you read text number 11?
I talked about again become a mouse. So
I know
did
that.
not.
Okay. Because it would have worked really well with this verse, but let's hear it.
Okay. What am I? Did I read 10? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What am I? A small creature. What? You're right, it did. I was thinking like the Bhagavatam. What am I? A small creature, like a mouse. Measuring 7 spans of my own hand.
Now, mice, well, who knows how
knows?
big a mouse's hand is? It
I do.
might be the same.
I see
it
dead
7
mice all the
spans?
time. My cats are mice hunters.
Okay.
I'm enclosed in a pot-like universe composed of material nature, the total material energy, false ego, ether, air, water, and earth. And what is your glory? Unlimited universes pass through the pores of your body, just as particles of dust pass through the openings of a screened window. Interesting, huh? We're living in a pot.
A little one.
Little pot.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
No,
I
go
was
ahead.
going to say a lot of times when in Bhagavatam or other Puranas, our that what's going on in our world is very small and insignificant. Our lifespans are incredibly short compared to Brahma, you know. Our, time in general compared to Brahma is like very insignificant. Our lives in so many ways, but here's Brahma's, flipping and saying, "Well, my whole existence is incredibly insignificant, right? I live in one universe. We think a universe is a big thing. I'm kind of like the top guy in the universe. I think I'm a big thing. But actually, I'm just trapped in a little tiny, tiny, tiny bubble. And these bubbles, they flow out of your body like practically unlimited. You are, you are the one that's, people look at me as if I'm the creator. Actually, you're the creator. People look at me as if I have a long lifespan. My lifespan is one breath for you. I cannot be compared. Let me get my bearings straight. And that feeling of insignificance shouldn't scare us. It should actually kind of excite us a little bit, because it's not a problem. We try to make ourselves significant in so many different ways through what it is that we do in this. Sometimes, a lot of times we're trying to do it just in artificial ways. Let me pay some money to get more Instagram followers so that I look more important than I am,
Paid. Now I have like 20,000 followers, but there's only 1 like.
How did that happen? And then, but even if it is that, like, we kind of work hard and accomplish something, we want to leave a mark on the world. That mark is just going to be poof. It's going to be gone in no time. Does that scare us? Does that insignificance, do we want to turn away from it? Or can we embrace it and realize, even though I'm insignificant, even though I'm incredibly tiny, that's reality. And reality is like, a gateway to truth, and truth is a gateway to freedom, so let me embrace that on one level, I'm very, very tiny and insignificant, but on another level, I'm eternal. And on another level, I have a one-on-one relation, at least the potential for it, maybe a lost one, but one that can be regained, a one-on-one relationship with the Supreme, with the root of all existence. That's mind-blowing. And what to speak of, when you get into the more esoteric aspects of bhakti, that my love can potentially overpower that, can potentially overpower that Supreme Being. That's very significant. So I'm insignificant, ontologically, but at the same time, it's like my potential is unlimited. And so let's but it starts with what Brahma is doing right here, right? Saying, okay, I was living absorbed in the illusion, thinking I was significant when I wasn't. That's not going that won't lead to freedom. Let me first embrace my own tininess and see where that goes.
It's a difficult pill to swallow in a world where we're filled with so much self-loathing that I don't want to hear from Kaustubha that I'm insignificant. I have to establish my
Insignificant.
significance, and we have like, you can sign up for my course where you learn about your significance, and you are powerful and you are strong and you can do whatever you want and everything's at the tip of your fingers. In Bhakti, we say, no. We're insignificant, but we're valued. In Bhakti, we are valued by divinity. And we reawaken or resurrect our significance by our contribution to the whole. Our contribution, Prabhupada would use this beautiful analogy. The hand has significance when connected to the body. It feeds the mouth, and that nourishes the body. And they all work like that together. If I was to sever the hand from the body and just throw a severed hand in the middle of the yoga studio, and you walk in, you'd be like, that same hand, which had significance, is now become ghastly. This is our position. When we try to cut ourselves away from the whole and say, look at me, I am significant, actually divorced from the whole, we just become ugly. And if you meet people that are really wrapped in their ego, and I can say, I'm not stepping out of this myself, I've been in my real ego-ness in times of my life, and it becomes ugly to the people that you care about. And people that care about you say, hey man, you got to like get over yourself. Because when people are in their ego, it becomes even distasteful to their best friends. And so a real person, a real friend tries to ground a person. And what is grounding? To see actually we're connected to something much bigger than ourselves. And people inherently are looking for that. They're looking to be part of something bigger. And the Vedas really spell it out very, they're very articulate. Yeah, we're connected to something bigger, to source. And teachers come to us to enlighten us and bring us closer to source, bring us closer to God, bring us closer to Kṛṣṇa. And we are meant to serve the center and not be the center. It's spelled out quite lovely. And that's where we find our happiness and our joy and satisfaction.
And that's happening to Brahma right now. Now he's going to speak in a humble way, but in a sweet way.
Here he goes. O Lord Adhokshaja. Want to explain what that means?
Adhokshaja. Oh man, it's slipping my mind right now. It means
Me too.
beyond. I think it means.
That's why I passed it to you.
You want to get me? I think it means adhokshaja, beyond
Zero
beyond
perception.
beyond the senses, beyond the scope of the mind. I believe.
Yeah,
Let's look that one up.
Yeah, okay. You looked it up. I'll keep reading.
Okay.
O Lord Adhokshaja, does a mother take offense when the child within her womb kicks his legs? No.
No.
And is there anything in existence, whether designated by various philosophers as real or as unreal, that is actually outside your abdomen? That's a sweet way to ask for forgiveness. My dear Lord, it is said that when the three planetary systems are merged into the water at the time of dissolution, your plenary portion, Nārayaṇa, lies down on the water. Gradually, a lotus flower grows from his navel, and Brahma takes birth upon that lotus flower. Certainly, these words are not false. Thus, am I not born from you? You there, sir? I keep thinking he's just in samadhi, but he's actually frozen. So this is Brahma. This is Brahmaji, and Brahma is unaware, like in the same way the child's in the womb. He's like unaware of the mother, but he's 100% dependent on the mother. And so Brahma's now asking for forgiveness. If I was to kick, this is a horrible analogy, but if I was to kick you in the tummy, wouldn't it be nice, right? Pranpriya? But if I was a child in your womb, let's imagine that for a moment. You're a little Raghunath in your womb kicking, you would not take offense. He said, please do not take offense for this. Again, Brahma, as great as he is actually born of Nārayaṇa. He's born on the lotus. I'm just going to keep reading this verse. My dear Lord, if your transcendental body, which shelters... Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm back.
Hey, Prabhu, how are you?
I'm doing good. I got the Adhokshaja thing too. At least
Oh, tell me.
Let me
Is
pull
it
that back
beyond
up.
material conception?
Yeah, beyond the perception of the senses.
Oh, Jolly Lama's on that, too.
Transcendental, beyond the perception of the senses. Here we go. I'll pull it up. The Sanskrit term hokshaja is a compound composed of adaha, meaning down or below, and akshaja, relating to sense perception or knowledge acquired by the senses. Etymologically, the hokshaja means that which is beyond the perception of the material senses, or the one who is never diminished or destroyed. It refers to the Supreme Being, often Vishnu or Krishna, who transcends all material sensory knowledge and is beyond direct sense experience.
That's from His Holiness ChatGPT Maharaj.
No, it wasn't. It was from Perplexity. Perplexity is more dependable on this kind of stuff, I find.
Beyond the material perception. It's interesting, huh? Most people don't even think. People just generally think like, well, if I can't perceive it, it doesn't exist. You have to step out of your own senses to really get this stuff. All this stuff seems so fantastic. That's because we are tiny. We're living in a pot. Imagine if you're living in a closet and all you know is that closet. It's hard to believe that there are varieties of trees and varieties of plants and varieties of landscapes and varieties of environment, that there's deserts. If you've never left your house or if you've never left your village, who can understand what you've never seen before? Even within this world, right? Sometimes if you grew up in North America and then you go to the Caribbean and your mind gets blown by the water or by the islands or by the trees, or sometimes we go to countries like Colombia or South India or something, and you get these fruits that you've never seen before, and everybody's eating these fruits. It's just like it's beyond the conception. And so this is the position of Lord Nārāyaṇa. We can't perceive him, and therefore we think, well, God isn't there. We can't see. And we're saying extend that faith that there's things, reasonable faith, there's things that you can't perceive, and you won't even be able to perceive them.
With the material senses.
With the material senses.
Yeah.
So there's some purifying of the senses that needs to happen, and that's what our sadhana, our chanting practice is, our studying practice is. It starts to refine our senses.
You know, Raghunath, I thought it was interesting here that in one sense, Brahma tried to pull a fast one on Kṛṣṇa. And if you try to do something like that to someone who's more powerful and in a superior position to you, often it can result in you being disciplined somehow, right? You're being shown, through some type of punishment, being put back in your place, let's say.
Right.
Now, Brahma, he hadn't really had a relationship with Kṛṣṇa. He had a relationship with Vishnu. But he knows now that Vishnu is an expansion of Kṛṣṇa. He's seen it with his own eyes. And Vishnu, he knows, is being very sweet to him. Vishnu has been very affectionate to him. He's had some connection direct with Vishnu. He's spoken to Vishnu. Vishnu's come forward and helped him and helped the Devas. He's approached Vishnu on the behalf of the Devas.
Yeah, it's like, how did he forget about all that?
Because he didn't know that Kṛṣṇa was Vishnu.
Ah.
Right? And so, but then when Kṛṣṇa said, look,
Boom.
like, not just one Vishnu, I can make many Vishnus come out of me. So it seems like he's relying on that, okay, this is really bad. I made a big mistake, but it's good that you're Vishnu because Vishnu's been so kind to me. So rather than just saying, I'm really sorry, please have mercy on me, he says it in this very sweet and personal way, like a mother doesn't take offense when the child within her womb kicks her with his legs. So I'm like your child, The child, right, is the body of the child is made out of the body of the mother. And so the connection is so intimate, right? And in a sense, he's saying, you're my mother. My body is made out of your ingredients, ultimately. Made out of the universe, which is your body. So, and in one sense, he did come from a lotus from the navel, of Vishnu. So he's approaching him from that angle, that children sometimes do things that are offensive to their parents, but the parents are never offended. And so please
We're sometimes offended.
Okay, so
We're sometimes
but the mother doesn't hold it against the child when the child kicks in the womb. Actually, they feel more like concern for the child, right? Like, or happy that the child is like moving around and so on.
Also, the child is clueless to what the parents go through. They don't understand. Like the parent are going to work. The parents have planned to have a child. The parents have put savings aside to raise that child. The parent will sacrifice for that child. So the child is a little oblivious, especially
when they're in the womb.
Infants, when they're infants. That the parent is going to the food store to bring the food back, and there's so much. And Brahma is sitting, as powerful as Brahma is, he's completely in that type of childlike illusion of how he is being maintained and supported. And this is like a come to Jesus moment for Lord Brahma. It's like that spiritual wake up call, that paradigm shift that we hope to get. And sometimes we do get it and it goes away and we have to get it again.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I've had many in my life. I think you might have just had one, and that's like now you're like, okay, me and Jesus. I go through periods of like I'm in deep transcendental consciousness, and then I fall into Maya, and then I get back up, go back down. I've had a rockier road than you. I've been on like the Vermont Long Trail, which is sort of like this rocky road up in Vermont, and a storm comes. You've been on like a super hot, the Yamuna Expressway.
I don't know, but anyway.
But whatever it
We
is,
all
it's
have a
whatever
path, as long
whatever
as
gets
we're
you to
going the right
our
direction,
destination. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now what does he say next? 13.
Next is text 14. Is that where we are?
13.
13? 14.
13.
My dear Lord, it is said that when the three planetary systems are merged into the water at that time of dissolution, your plenary portion, Nārayan, lies down in that water. Gradually, a lotus flower grows from his navel, and Brahma takes birth upon that lotus flower. Certainly, these words are not false. Thus, I am not born. Thus, am I not born from you?
There you go.
That.
Yeah, there you go. No, we didn't read that. I just spoke about that. I'm thinking like Lord Brahma.
Okay, you are. You are practically as wise as Lord Brahma.
Don't go there.
I said that. I love this idea of three planetary systems.
Why?
It makes it just fills in all the blanks of heaven and hell.
And then in the middle ground.
In the middle ground. And it makes sense because sometimes our day, how was your day today? It was pretty good. It was sort of like,
Hell.
wasn't great, but some days you had a day that were like, how was today? It was like hell. The stock market crashed. There was a fire in my garage. My cat got lost. Like sometimes there is like hell on earth going on. And then sometimes it's like, how was your day today? It was incredible. We went for a hike and we did this. So it's like we experience those three phases of life within this world. And if you could expand that, you'd have what the sages call the three planetary systems, where this Earth planet, you get the heaven and hell on a regular basis. It's always in rotation. Isn't it always on rotation? That's what material realm is like. It's just like a wheel. Heavens, you're always experiencing this type of high, but it's still temporary. And hell is just like your perpetual suffering. But again, it's temporary. That wheel ends up stopping spinning, and then we leave our body, and then we go around. And this whole wonderful, horrible cycle is called saṁsāra. And then outside of that wheel is a spiritual realm. When I first heard that, Kaustubha, I was like, that makes so much sense to me.
The big wheel keeps on turning.
Well, it never made sense that if I'm going to go to heaven, first of all, we all go to heaven just by believing. That didn't make sense because there's some people that are much more spiritual than I am. Why should we go to the same place? It seems like there should be some type of categories of spirituality, right? And then it seems like there's some people who are more, there's some people who, they steal, but they steal maybe to support their family or they steal something small. Then there's people who are actually murderers or like psychopaths, or the Stalins and Maos of the world who've just like killed hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. They're gonna go to the same hell, and it's just like once you go to hell, you're there eternally, or once you go to heaven, you're there eternally. That doesn't seem fair. I want a more fairness in this heaven and hell thing.
And the 3 planetary systems does that for you. 14 planetary systems, 3 worlds, 14 planetary systems, right?
Yeah, I think there's just different ways that different sages like analyze it. You know, you could say head, shoulders, knees, and toes. That's one way to look at the body. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Well, we don't have a belly button. Well, you do, but it just in this way we're looking at it, we're just like head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think 14 planetary systems would be saying, yeah, you got belly buttons, you got a shin, stuff like that.
Okay.
You like that? Different philosophers say it different way.
They do.
3 planetary systems is an easy way to say it.
Okay.
Higher, middle, lower. All right?
Sure.
We're definitely in the middle, I feel like.
It's a fact.
Because you can go through hell in this life.
And you
then
can,
you can
also
also
get
be
to
like,
heavenly too.
and you could be in a heaven in this life as well.
Yeah.
And all those come from the Supreme. They all come from the right. What's a good translation of the Gayatri mantra?
Generally, I don't speak of that publicly.
Well, it's so public. But all the other mantras are more secret. Come on.
It mentions the 3 planetary systems.
Yeah, and they're all coming from Surya, which is coming from God.
Surya is illuminating them all.
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
Text 14. Now he's going to say it.
Are you not the original Narayan? O Supreme Controller, since you are the soul of every embodied being and the eternal witness of all created realms. Indeed, Lord Nārayaṇa is your expansion, and he is called Narayan because he is the generating source of the primeval water of the universe. He is real, not a product of your illusory Maya.
Okay, so this is, a lot of times, where was I recently? And, it was at the last Super Soul Retreat. And this topic got brought up of like Narayan and Kṛṣṇa, and is Narayan an expansion of Kṛṣṇa? And
this is laying it down right here.
Yeah, I went through a whole thing, and of course, like, and some of the people were like, "Thank you." Now, putting the pieces together. But probably the first place that we'll go to address this is Kṛṣṇastu Bhagavan Svayam. In the 3rd chapter, the 1st canto, where it's stated that it talks about Narayan, it talks about Vishnu, it talks about all these other different avatars, and then it makes this clear statement that all of them are either portions or portions of the portions of Sri Kṛṣṇa, who is the original Supreme Bhagavan. But here you have it again, and it's being stated here by Lord Brahma himself, right? Ultimate universal authority. Are you not? Lord Narayan is your expansion, right? He's called Narayan because he is the generating source of the primeval water in the universe. He is real, not a product of your illusory Maya. Okay, so that's an important verse. Yeah,
I thought of the same thing immediately. Like, here it is. It's spelled out in black and white. You're doubting it. You're questioning it. Here it is.
The only way that the way it's so fascinating if you see, like, we have this beautiful song, right? The Sad Goswami Astaka.
Yeah.
Talks about the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, these great writers, great devotees, great philosophers. And it mentions that, they were Nana Shastra Vichara Naikanipana. They were going through all the different texts because they're vast and they speak on different levels. But they were established, trying to lay out the whole map for us perfectly clearly. And in one sense, one of the last questions you get to is like, okay, but is Narayan coming from Kṛṣṇa or is Kṛṣṇa coming from Narayan? And they wrote books like the Laghu Bhagavatamrita by Rupa Goswami. He deals with like a lot of these kind of questions, and he's drawing from all the different Puranas and so on, and sometimes from the Vedas, all the different Shastra, to spell it out, to lay it all out for us, to help us really understand, the whole landscape of it, because it's not easy to put together on your own. But this is the kind of verse that that he would quote from there. Like, here's Brahma, an authority, speaking. And the first thing he does is he establishes this, what Jiva Goswami does in the Tattva Sandarbha, is he establishes the authority of the Bhagavatam. Right? It's that the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is really the conclusive work of Vyas. And so that's the most, that becomes the highest authority. And then within that, we hear these clear statements again and again that Narayan is an expansion of Kṛṣṇa. Vishnu is an expansion of Kṛṣṇa.
You know, it's one of these things that you can drop into any math class, K through, 12, and it's going to appear. It's all math. So, beginning math, there's no negative numbers. If I say, well, there's a negative number, you're going to be like, well, no, there's not. It's just like numbers. There's 0, and then 1, 2, 3. But as you get into advanced math, there's negative numbers, and then all of a sudden you're like, 1 times R equals 7. What is R? It's like, wait a second, R's not a number. What is this math? And so it all fits in when you understand the advanced math. And when you study the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, everything will start to, every little bit of Hinduism will start to make sense. Otherwise, you go to these stores, especially for an American, they go to some Eastern philosophy bookstores on metaphysical things and spirituality, etc. It's completely confusing because you'll read one book, another book, and they'll say, I'm reading Hinduism, but it seems like they're all banging their heads. There's no one conclusion. You read the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, there'll be a really easy conclusion. You'll figure out how all these parts of the puzzle fit together.
There you go. When did you learn the advanced math, Raghunath?
My second year of university.
Really? Are you sure you had a second year of university? Or is that kind of like a negative number? It doesn't exist, but somehow it does.
I got to calculus 2. That's where I just like, you know what? I just want to be in a band.
I think we're out of time. I think it's time for takeaways, Pranapriya.
All right.
You're doing it. You're remembering her name, Pranapriya.
I got it that time.
Good job, Pranapriya.
Thank you for remembering my name. Nothing is ours. It's all on loan.
It's hard when people change their names all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And now you got to call them a new name.
Yeah. It's true.
Take some time.
Yeah.
Then you get to the point where you forgot the other name. We won't even remember Mara. It'll be like, what was her name before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what was that first one?
Okay. Nothing is ours. It's all on loan.
It's all yours. What can we own? Not family property. It's all yours. What can we own? Not family property. It's all on loan. Boom.
There is no scratch.
There is no scratch.
Oh,
Like
making
from
it
scratch.
from scratch.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no
Chapel
making it
pie.
from scratch.
Yeah.
Making it from scratch.
Live a lifestyle to uncover the cause of all causes.
Speaking of pie, let's make some pie today.
Oh, sure, Prabhu. You and Tarun should make your famous blueberry pie.
Okay.
See yourself as a steward of God's land.
I'd like the way Mara flipped that one right back to Raghu. Yeah, go ahead. Make
Yeah,
up
go.
for
You
it.
want a pie? Make pie.
Big pie. Great idea. Lord Brahma has a better sadhana than us, and he falls in illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uproot
That's a
envy.
rarity.
Yeah. Uproot envy for truth to trickle down.
Uproot
Okay.
envy for truth to trickle down, my friend.
All right.
Weave humility into your life.
Weaver. Dream Weaver.
Dreamweaver.
Our significance is in our contribution to divinity.
Boom.
The wheel of samsara is always spinning.
Big wheel, keep on rolling.
And
Say it, Kaustubha. Proud mama.
You're messing that up, so you already messed it up once. It's Proud Mary.
Oh, Proud
It's Big
Mary?
Wheel keep on
Isn't
turning.
it Proud Mama?
It's not Big Wheel keep on rolling. It's Big Wheel keep on turning. And then it's Proud Mary, not Proud Mama.
Proud Mama. I don't know any of those songs. That's you. I got it to punk.
I did too.
and
what?
again become a mouse.
Again, become a mouse. Thanks for if you're joining us. Remember to go to WhatsApp. Sign up for my WhatsApp channel. Ray Raghunath Capo. Going to start my Upadesha Amrita course. The scoop is good. We're going to
When is that
We're going to go
launching?
back and forth with different courses.
That's
I tell
great.
you, doing this 3 days a week has opened us up to just dive into new things. Excited about it. And
too.
raghu.pilgrimage@gmail.com to find out info or to get your name on the list. for Mayapur, which is happening the Monday after our December.
January 26th through February 2nd.
Okay, that's great.
When are you going to launch your course?
I'm shooting for the 10th. I'm shooting for the 10th.
Oh, December 10th.
Yeah, but I have to get all my ducks in a row first.
No.